I am my side, and we are here today to play another game by the name of Obscura. I don't know much about this game, but I'm very excited to get into it and see where it takes us. I hope you all enjoy this video, and stay tuned if you want to see more from me. But as always, let's get right into it and see where this game, this journey, where the adventures lies, where does it take us. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm interested to see where this goes, so let's just get started. Okay. No one goes into the mountains without a reason. Purpose of business? Buying. No one takes their paths into the mountain. How are you going to pay? Some funds, some work. Good luck with that. Everyone knows what it means when you go. No one says anything about it. Give me your bags. The guy looks through my things with perfect efficiency. Bored, they start asking me questions. What are you going to be called down there? Sigh. Good choice. You have a mask, Miss Sigh? No one would sell me. Not a problem here. If you're buying, we're selling. The gate guard waves to the mask hanging around the entrance, perhaps once worn by other visitors. We're all faceless strangers under the mountain. Pick your poison. I take a mask off the wall and fit it to my face. It weighs on my head, but my mind feels lighter. I see my reflection in the mirror. The people under the mountain have beautiful teeth. Bro, is this a cult? This kind of, I don't know. What are we doing here? Is this like black market business, or is this like an occult thing? This is weird. I hand the gate guard the money owed. Welcome to the marketplace. They step aside, allowing me passage into the tunnel in the side of the mountain. I begin my descent. At first, I have to wonder if I have been tricked in some way. The passage grows narrow, the air is stale, and the path uneven. This is kind of scary. No, but it's not scary. It's very atmospheric. I really like this. It's really nice. It's such a vibe. But then I see something. A shimmering pale blue glow from around a corner. I fight through the narrowing walls until I am able to turn the corner. The passage suddenly widens, and it opens. I step from the passage into a cavern, so massive I can hardly see the end of it. The marketplace. There are several masked people who were seated or leaning against the walls around a little entryway, and now they are approaching me. Welcome, newcomer. A fresh face. Someone new could use a guide, couldn't they? Hustlers, or probably petty thieves looking for an easy mark. My valuables are kept under my heavy robe, safe from pickpockets. I still myself and march forward past the strangers. There's no logic to this place. If they weren't obvious scams, I could have taken one of the offers for a guide and saved myself some time. At first, I glance at each stall in turn. Out here, nearest the entry tunnel, all of the stalls are selling some amethysts or cheap grills, the sort of things a departing traveler might want to have when they ascend. Not what I'm looking for. It's not here. Well, I suppose it wouldn't be. Asking one of the sellers, I get directions. The rough walls of this cavern, shifting and trembling in unsteady candles and low warm lights, slowly turn smooth where natural walls turn human carved. Welcome. The shopkeeper is masked, of course, but that is not what grabs my attention. The din of hundreds of voices selling and buying in negotiating and the echoing caves is muffled, but not by much. This, that is because while the apothecary has four walls, there is no roof over the store. Newcomer, huh? What? You must be a fresh arrival. And why would you say that? You're staring where the ceiling should be. I suppose they city with no sun or rain or roofs are unnecessary. Only thing a roof keeps out in the marketplace is thieves. A common weather pattern here? Far too common. I make an effort to examine the apothecary's mask. It's plainer even than mine. Perhaps he is frugal, or perhaps he is poor by the standards of the marketplace. Well, you weren't driven in here by the weather. What do you need? I'm looking for lunar figure. I resist the urge to explain my circumstances to the shopkeeper. No matter how meaningless or petty they seem, my secrets are one of the few resources I have in these depths. You have expensive tastes or terrible luck. Is that something you can remedy? Apothecary? No. If money is a concern, I can make an arrangement. It's not the money. I could never afford to stock that damnable Edgar. Even if I could, I doubt I would be able to stomach it. The rumors were true then. That is unfortunate. Where does one go then to find that damnable ichor? Smugglers then, the vault of the lords of the market, or perhaps you could take a knife to a lunar god. Failing that, the auction house may provide. It's the largest house this side of the ruby walls. It even has a roof. The apothecary cannot see my smile. But I hope he can hear it. I thank you for your timely advice, sir. Save your thanks for the lunar god. I take my leave of the shop. The noise rises again from loud to deafening. There are tunnels and additional caverns in all directions, but I continue the way I was going. If the walls are getting smoother and the buildings are more beautiful, then I am approaching the richest part of the market. It stands to reason that is where the auction house will be. Keeping my eyes up, it takes no time to find the auction house. It is, as the apothecary said, the largest house this side of the ruby wall. The door is covered in tiny engravings impossible to interpret in the dim light, are wide open. Bright, golden lamplights pour out into the street. People are freely milling in and out, and so I slip inside. I am underdressed for the occasion, but neither of the guards standing at the door moved to stop me. The sound of the outside suddenly dims, and I have to blink against the sun brightness. I can hear my own muffled footsteps as I cross the plush carpet deeper into the auction house. The whispered conversation through masks make a thin fog of sound compared to the din outside. The signs are in a language I do not recognize. I can make some educated guesses. The double doors standing locked and guard must lead to the actual auction house. There's a short, uncarpeted hall with gleaming polished floors, lined with several doors. After a second, I see a giggling pair exit one of the rooms and straighten their clothes. That explains that, then. Yeah, okay. There's one door that is little more than a window on hinges. Left open, I peer inside for a second only to see an ordinary office. Come in. The stranger sitting behind the desk waves to me, and so I step outside. Pardon me, I didn't mean to intrude. You can't intrude on the bookkeeper. I must always be available. You must be? How else could anyone check to ensure I am not meddling in the books? Does it really come to that? Well, I have no such concerns. A buyer, are you? Couldn't I simply be a borrower? You really believe someone would come to the marketplace to the auction house just looking to see what they find? I suppose so, a must have in all of history. Well, if that's the scale you're measuring by, you, however, are not here to browse. No, I'm not. You're right. I'm here to buy. Shall I show you the catalog for the next auction? I would appreciate it. The bookkeeper stands and hands me a sizable booklet. Do not damage it. Do not leave here with it. They open a drawer to their desk and hold up a knife. It's a little thing, but I have no doubt they could kill me with it. Then they sit again and resume their work. I flip through the book. There are objects of unimaginable value, works of art by artists even I know by name. I flipped a page and am met with the miserable exposed face of a young adult. Their posture is low and defeated, but they are beautiful. The text informed me that whatever is paid in the auction will be sent to their family within the mountain. Surely not. I flipped the page again. There are no other pages in the catalog, but one is enough to turn my stomach. Thank you, bookkeeper. Finished already? What I want isn't in here. In there. And what is it that you want? I'll check the history, see when it was last sold. I bit my tongue for a moment. Lunar anchor. An unlucky one, aren't you? I couldn't say if you would, bookkeeper. I shuffled through a notebook. I tried to read the text, but it is nearly impossible to interpret their plain pencil scratchings. More bad luck to heap on your pal, I'm afraid. The last sale was 3 months back. It's unlikely we'll get another sale for months yet. Unless someone new comes with a stock. It couldn't be easy, could it? And what was the final price for it? For a lot of 12. The number they tell me is stomach dropping. I could not gather those funds in a lifetime, even divided 12 ways. The price for a single vial is well beyond my means. My life saving weighed heavily in the corn purse under my robe. Dead weight, it seems. By your silence, I guess you don't have that money. Thank you for your time. I try to keep my voice neutral. Applause to the creator of this game. It's so nice. I really like it. When I leave the auction house, I momentarily lose my sight and hearing as I adjust again to the dim, echoing cavern. I don't notice the direction my feet are taking me. My hopes for a quick visit to the marketplace have been fairly dashed. Now I have to determine what to do. At the moment, I don't trust myself to make a sensible choice. Staying on guard here in the marketplace is exhausting. My feet ache from climbing the mountain. I need some kind of rest before I have the energy to determine what to do next. I stop by a stall and ask directions for a decent inn, rest stop, public house, anything. Following the direction through a short tunnel, I wandered through a quieter district of the marketplace. Though quiet is relative, the guest house is a challenge to find, though I hesitate to call the ground down walking paths roads. There are rest houses lining them on either side. The Leaping Bear, the guest house recommended to me, is nothing remarkable. The building has a roof, but the building itself is mostly made of raw wood. Inside, the atmosphere is boisterous, but on the scale of a handful of people singing a drinky song, the chaos outside is already muffled and distant. Welcome. The woman who appeared has her face fully covered in a bear mask, but her neckline is untied and exposed. I wonder who she worked for. Hello, I was told this is a good establishment to stay the night. You were told right, except the part about night. Here, there's no real difference between night and day. Plenty of folks are up all hours of the day, as you do, just sleeping when they're tired and forgetting the sun never existed. I see. The bear mask woman has me sign into a guest book and pay for the night. You have the room for 24 hours. If you're staying longer, I expect you here to pay for more time. before it runs out, or else all your things would be sent to a moon shrine. I'll remember, thank you. And you'll be needing these. He hands me a dull metal medallion on a letter string and a key. Dear Rufus, over here. She gestured to a mountain of a man, also in a bear mask, standing by a door. Make sure only guests go to their rooms. That medallion proves you're a guest. Don't lose it. Or else I'll find my things at the moon shrine. Pick things up quickly, don't you do? Seems like an important skill to have here. Quite right. She gets back to her business as I approach the mountain of a man guarding the door to the rooms. Hello, Rufus. I hold up the medallion and wait. I'm not about to rush a man with a bat, especially one as bloodstained as his is. Then he nods, and I am granted passage. He watches me go to my assigned room. I suppose it's a good measure to prevent thief, but then so is a blood-stained bat. Sleep doesn't come easily at first. How can I risk sleeping in a marketplace? But it does come first. I'm able to order something like breakfast from the Leaping Bear's kitchen, and then sit deep in thought, staring at a bowl of porridge. Eating in this mass is a bit of a bother. I have to navigate the spoon around the mass. They're clamps, you know. What? Still along the side of the mass, there should be a pin or clamps holding the bottom part. I do as she said and find the little clamps holding the two parts of my mask together. Well, I feel like a proper fool. It already feels strange having my mouth exposed. Newcomers are all a bit foolish. That's part of their charm. Thank you, I think. Just keep your wits about you. You'll live. You make it sound so dire. Well, you're here, aren't you? You're not wrong. No one comes here without good reason, I should think. What's yours? A personal matter. Buying or selling. That's all there is down here. After all. Buying something I might not be able to afford, it turns out. That won't narrow things down too much further. Well, depends how you try to buy things, doesn't it? Money will get you anywhere, if you have enough of it. But there's other roads out there. Is that something you know a lot about? I couldn't say. I only know what stories the guest brings in. He says it flippantly, enough that there must be a story there. But I resist the urge to dig. Then I suppose my next job is to find what paths I can use. Thank you. Oh, not a problem. The mask troubles everyone at first. He slips away to handle another matter, and now I'm left with far more productive thought. Money won't get me lunar anchor, but something else might. Influence, friendship, balance, well, my body if it comes down to it. Anything. I really wonder why she's so desperate. Honestly, going more into the story, it's going to be really interesting to see what brings her to this place and more about the world and the people that are here. There's a lot to think about. Am I going to stay in a guest house for weeks or months? What possible way are there to get lunar anchor? Let's start with one foot in front of the other. Over the next several days, I get to learn the layout of the marketplace. It's an ever-shifting rat's nest of stalls and passages and unmanaged pathways, but there are some fixed landmarks. I can navigate somewhat comfortably by those landmarks when they are visible. One evening, based on my internal clock, the proprietress of the Leaping Bear hints over a meal that as long as I am well behaved, she would be willing to extend more generous long-term rates to me. I wasn't planning to misbehave, even less so with Rufus keeping an eye on me, and so that settles the matter of lodging for the moment. As for the lunar anchor, I am at a loss. It is rare, absurdly rare, and based on the reaction of those I speak to about it, some aspects of it is very taboo. Likely the condition it treats. I wonder one of the quieter passages, clearly natural by how uneven the ground is. It's mostly homes built on weather smooth patch of stone the builders could find. But there is one that towers over the rest, a tall church with heavy oaken doors. I have seen the eerie blue-green light of glowworms and the smoky gold of lantern, but I have not seen the sun since I started my descent. Churches dedicated to the lunar god exist outside the mountain, but not in any significant number. The lunar god, lunar anchor, it can't hurt to ask, could it? I'm not sure I believe that the lunar god must bleed for there to be lunar anchor, but there's no harm in asking. I halted my path instantly, although after a moment I can see no one was speaking to me. Instead, there is a treacherous crowd gathering just down the tunnel, shouting and bustling. It looks like trouble. Stay and see what's happening. Let's see what happens. Idle curiosity keeps me where I am, watching the rackets of the crowd instantly. Very suddenly, one of the members of the crowd breaks away and sprints directly towards me. I start moving backwards, trying to step aside. I misjudge my step and stumble. I fling a hand out in an attempt to find my balance. The sprinter slows down very slightly as they get closer to me, low enough to catch my hand and jerk me forward. I try to pull my hand away, but it's impossible. The runner pulls me along, and I have to use all my focus to keep up. Did I make the wrong decision? Should I have went inside the church? Oh my goodness. I should have went inside the church. Is there a baton? Is this a baton? Oh my goodness. Oh. Stop. Oh my goodness. He dragged me into his thievery. This freaking thief pulled me along like I was his accomplice. Oh my goodness. Thief? I cannot help my astonished outburst. What? Like you're surprised? We head down a tunnel. Many of the people step aside for us, hardly surprised by a pair sprinting away from a collection of uniformed officials. I wouldn't want to be involved either. The runner takes a sharp turn, nearly wrenching my arm from its socket. I yeep as I follow along. Then we take a turn into some sort of business establishment. The runner does not slow down for a second as the shopkeeper opens their back door for us and closes it once we're through. The back alley we're in is uncomfortably cramped and we have to shuffle through. Hold on. All at once, the thief turns, grabs my shoulders, and pushes me backwards until I'm pinned against the wall. What the? Shh. We're both panting. The thief leans in until I'm nearly pressed body to body with him. Stay quiet for 20 seconds. Helpless, I have to follow the thief's lead. I do everything in my power to breathe silently and try to tuck myself behind the stranger. After I count to 30, the thief gives me space. Who are you exactly? Okay, Sly, do you trust me? No. Not remotely, should I? No, you shouldn't. But if you don't want to get arrested, you should still come with me. On another merry chase through the marketplace? Somewhere we can cool off. They didn't see your mask, so once the trail gets cold, in 20-ish hours you can go. Have this escaping business down to an art, do you? Wouldn't be here if I didn't. Oh then, thief, steal me away. Keep quiet until I tell you it's alright to speak again. Not yet. What's your name, thief? You got mine. I'm a thief. I'm supposed to take things. Do you want me to call you thief? While we're walking around, would you like that kind of attention? You're not always going to be this mouthy, right? Depends how much you deserve it. Call me here. Pleased to meet you here. Really? Not yet. And now you're going to shut up. Fine. I love the personalities of the main character. Oh my god, I didn't say you could talk yet. Wow, okay. You tried us into this. I'm grown comfortable with the anatomy of my mask, but it is a great shame I can't show here what exactly I think of his sass. To be fair, he's probably thinking the same thing. We sneak through back alleys, shuffling between buildings that seem to be leaning into each other. Is of hard to find a place to stop in this game because I'm really into it. We're gonna save it there, and yeah. I enter into a route? Well, that's interesting. So we're gonna save it there. This is a very interesting introduction to this game. Honestly, I'm looking forward to see where we go from here and how things go. It's very interesting. I don't have much to say, but if you like this video and you're curious to see what happened next, please like and subscribe. And if you have any recommendations for things you'd like me to play, you can comment it down below. But as always, see you in the next video, I guess.